Hello everybody, this is Evan with Tabletop Gaming Guild, and today I'm very excited to bring you a preview of Mantle of the Keeper here by Strongbox Games. So what we have here is a prototype copy of what's coming to Kickstarter very soon. I'm going to take you down to the tabletop, kind of show you some of the stuff that's going on with this, and then we'll bring it back up and give you my final thoughts. Also, while I'm showing you the stuff on the tabletop, I'll have up in the upper right hand corner a little QR link, so at any time you can pause the video, scan that, and it's going to take you right to their website, so you can check out a little bit more information about the game and about when the Kickstarter is coming. All right. Alright, so this is Mantle of the Keeper. So these areas here, these are going to be the battlefield that you're going to be using here. They call them rim tiles. And what's really cool is they are dual-sided. So you're going to have a couple different options on setting up. They always have to be into a square like this. So when you set it up, it always has to be like that. So when you start the game, you're going to get 6 of these here. You're going to have as many player boards as there are players. And then what you're going to do is you're going to randomly select who is going to be the first player. Once you select the first player, that person is going to select from the player boards who they're going to be, and goes clockwise. So here's some of the player boards here. I already have 2 laid out that I'm going to be using, but they're dual-sided also. So one side is just kind of a general idea of the abilities that they have, how you would want to play them, some tips for them, a little backstory for them, and each one's the same. Then everything you need to do to play the game is on this side here, and I'll go over that once we get into a little bit more here. So once everyone's selected that, in the same order too, you're going to do the rim boards. I just kind of lay these out just to kind of have them out already. The production copy is supposed to have 6 of them in here. So, as I said, you have to have them in a square, so I place 4. Just kind of randomly pick sides on them. And you can see there's artwork's really nice into it too. Some sections are outlined white, and we'll go over that here in a little bit. So once everything is selected here, this is your first player token. What I really like is once all that's selected, if you are first and you got first picks of everything, right before the game goes, you have to pass this to the person to your left. Thank you. So if you get first dibs on everything, you are not going first. But then setup is going to continue with a couple more things, but before we go into that, I'm going to talk about the player boards like I mentioned here. So here's the player boards. So the 2 that we have Gray the Nomad and Shem the Ranger. And so much like the other ones there that we aren't using. Got a front and a back to them here. And with all of them too, there is a custom deck for each character. Here is Gray's, here is Shem's, all the cards that they would be using through the game. So, on this, you're going to have your health section, your favor section, and a couple here. This is going to be the speed, so during your turn how far you can move, and range, the standard range for most of your stuff that you're going to be doing based off your cards. Then you have some special abilities here, which I'll go over in a minute. So health is the main thing that you're going to be using in the game. Once your health is knocked out, you're done. And starting health, it depends on how many players you go. So 2 and 3 players, you're going to be starting all the way at 20. 4 player, you're going to start at 17. This comes with little cubies, so you just want to place it right there like that on the board. This next section here is your favor track. So favor, you want to think about like money in the game. It's going to be your spendable resource. So a lot of things are going to use that favor. You can see up here in the corner, there's a couple of things you can do. You can gain more favor by doing things. You can spend favor to draw cards. You can discard cards to gain favor too. I'll talk more about the cards here in a little bit. The full defense bonus, you get favor if you fully defend an attack, which was another thing that we'll go over in a little bit here. But one thing you can see too, extra movement. So, like I said, your movement's right there. you can spend straight up favor for an extra movement. So it's one way if you have a shorter range, you can close the gap with somebody really easily. I also mentioned that you have special abilities here. So this first one is always unlocked, so you always have this first one in there. I'm going to bring this up a little closer. So on that, if you can see in that lock, it has a number 3, and this one's on a number 5. So you have to spend favor, 3 favor, 5 favor, unlocks those abilities. And each character, it's the same way. So they all have additional abilities that you can use favor to unlock. And these are fairly powerful and almost game-changing stuff that's going to help move the game along. The sample game that I played earlier, I was almost certain that the Ranger was going to take out the Nomad, even though the Ranger has slower movement. I figured the range would be one thing, but once I got into these abilities, I never unlocked them for the Ranger, but I unlocked them for the Nomad. And once the Nomad closed the range, which was fairly easy with that ability, it was game over. So one thing I will definitely say is gain your favor and unlock these. It will only help you out. So, let me slide these out of the way here. The game also comes with this production copy. Has little standees here. From the pictures I saw for the upcoming Kickstarter with it, looks like it's going to have miniatures, but I can't speak for certain because I only have the prototype copy here in front of me. And as I have already said before, please keep in mind this is only a prototype copy, so many things in here have the ability to change. One thing I heard was they're going to go with dual layer boards, so possible that your little cubes will actually stick into that. But again, I can't say for certain because I'm not on the production team. I'm just reviewing them for this. So now that I kind of explained the boards here for the player boards, we're going to go back to the setup here. So once we got this set up, we have these obstacles that are going to go out here. So starting with the first player, everyone takes one, and they all do different things. One of them is a tremor, deals 1 damage if you stay next to it. Surge gives you an extra movement. Breach acts like an obstruction. An obstruction is the stuff here that's outlined in white. Costs extra movement to go through and blocks line of sight. So it's something that'll block line of sight, but can be destroyed. And then you also have a rift there. Rift, think almost like if you ever played the game Portal or something like that, that you can shoot through and stuff like that. So everyone's going to place those out. So I'm just going to toss those out there. So once you got that, each person, in turn order again, places their character. And the rule with placing the character is only one character can go on a section. So you have to kind of pick and choose how you're going to really set yourselves up on these. You want to make sure you don't get yourself in line of sight of stuff. And then you're going to grab your cards. You start with 5. So So 5 here and 5 there. So I'm going to show you the Ranger hand here and give you kind of an idea of how this works. So as I said, with the range, that's going to be on the player board. The Ranger here has a range of 4. There's also the reminder onto the cards right into this section. It's going to tell you the ranges for stuff. The main section here is going to be this top and bottom number. The top is the attack power, the bottom is the defense number. So let's just say, just for the sake of argument, we're in range here on our turn. Okay. You can attack by playing cards. You can use your actions to draw cards. You can spend them to do the favor exchanges. Lots of options in there. So how it breaks down is you actually get your movement during your turn, and you get 2 actions. So, like I said, those actions can be attacking. You can draw more cards, discard cards for favor. But we'll talk about like the attacking here. So I'm just going to grab... Yeah, that's not a good attack card. We'll go with this one. In this example, we're close enough. We want to attack. It's going to be an attack strength of 5. So the opponent is going to just look through their hand here and is going to look for the bottom number. What am I going to use to defend against that attack? So we're going to take this guy here. Straight up 5 there. So 5 attack versus 5 defense, nothing's getting through. You can never do damage on the defense. Like if you over defend, it won't actually put damage back into the attacker. But this full defense bonus, so if you fully defend and you take no damage, you're going to get 2 extra favor. So it's another way for you to go up onto the favored track. That would count as one of your 2 actions on this turn. So the next thing you could do is you could attack again if you had another card. Another type of card that's out there, like this, doesn't have the attack or defense value, but it goes off to the text here. It says attack for 4, so it's going to work exactly the same. It just doesn't have that defense value or attack value. So let's say we'd play like that, or something else. Let's say we'll drop that one there. So attack for 4, defended for 3, so 1 damage is going to get through to gray. So I'd have his cube here. It would be on 20. It would slide down to 19. And then we would follow along here. It says then move up to 3 spaces, so I could go and move away. And then we have a little symbol there. So included into the game, they gave 2 real nice quick reference sheets. So one for your player guard, and one basically on how the cards work, all the different areas, and then the icons. And there's not too many. Sometimes these games can get a lot into them. This one's not too many into that. And that's going to tell you here, like this one says, with that symbol is successful damage. Now if you look real close onto it, there's a line through it, so that means even if they didn't take damage, so even if it was successful at successfully defended, you still get to move the 3. So the game kind of repeats from there. It's a very fast, fluid game. You have to do a lot of management with your hand to make sure that you don't run out of cards, because when you're defending, it is may play a card. If you don't have cards to play, you're taking full damage, and that can lead to bad times really quickly. So you always have to keep that idea of, is it worth it me attacking multiple times in this round because I'm not going to be drawing cards. Now, at the beginning of every round, you're going to gain a favor and draw at least 1 card. So you're always going to have something coming in, but you have the ability to draw 2 more cards through the game, or through your turn, I should say. So you have to keep that into the back of your mind. It's a dwindling supply as you're attacking, and you got to keep stuff in for defense, so you just can't throw everything out there. You have a hand limit of 6 also, so you just can't spend moving around at the very beginning of the game and stockpiling a whole bunch of cards either. So it's a lot of things you have to think about, and for such a small setup of a game, it's actually really cleanly designed, which I really like. So I'm going to take you up from the tabletop here, and I'm going to talk about my final thoughts of Mantle of the Keeper here. So Mantle of the Keeper here. So my final thoughts with it. I really like the game overall. It's fantastic play. It's really easy to learn. It did not take me very long to pick up through the rules, pick up everything that's going on with the game. Really like the hand management system with the game. I like the ability of how you can spend that favor to, level up your guys here, with this bottom row. Those abilities are super helpful to your guys as you're going along. Really like the artwork into this game too. Having multiple different characters that you can play at, and each deck being completely different, is also really cool. It adds a lot of replayability for the game. And as I mentioned before too, this is just a prototype copy coming to Kickstarter soon. Some things are going to change, but the artwork and a lot of the features for the game looks like they're pretty well locked in. It's just going to be a lot of the upgraded components and stuff like that. So really excited to see this coming soon. As I mentioned before, definitely, check out that QR code, go to the website, get a little bit more information, a little more in-depth. As I mentioned too, there are pictures of the miniatures that are supposed to be in there. I don't know if that's going to be base or if that's going to be an upgrade in there, but they look really, really cool. I'm a miniature guy, so I really like them. And you're going to get information when this Kickstarter is going to be launching on there. Don't have the exact date as of right now, but it should be fairly soon. And I'm excited to get a copy of it for myself. But until later, this is Evan with Tabletop Gaming Guild. Please like, subscribe, comment down below more stuff that you want to see, and we will try to bring that content to you. Until later, have a good night.